There seems to be a fad and a craze going on that everybody's switching to Garmin, that those that are using the Apple Watch are dumping it because Garmin is just so much better with such superior battery life. But is it the truth? Does the Apple Watch still hold up and hold a candle to Garmin? In what ways is the Apple Watch actually better than a Garmin? And that's what we're going to explore here in this video. Well, it's smart, so that's the first advantage. So I can take my phone when I'm at home and just chuck it. And that's kind of nice. That's something that the Garmin had made me forget. See, with the Garmin, yes, I get calls and I get text messages that come through, but I can't do anything with them or take action. I can simply see that I received it, and if I want to take action, then I need to pick up my phone. With the Apple Watch, I can take action. So this is truly something I can leave behind and leave in the other room, forget where it is, and then just respond with this, with what's important. I only allow what's important to come through, and I can take action and respond and make a phone call with this. And there's a genuine level of freedom that comes with that, when I truly can leave my phone in the other room detached, but still reach out and respond when it requires me to. That's different than being notified of something important and still needing to go find and pick up my phone anyway. It's a slight difference, but it makes a big difference. Looks are subjective. Not everybody's gonna think it looks great. Some people are gonna love the look. I, for one, am not super crazy about it, but I think the functionality you get in exchange for a little mini computer on your wrist is well worth the trade-off. See, and charging is really not that big of a deal to me. I know on paper the Garmin is better because the battery lasts so much longer. It lasts days, weeks, months. But the reality is I'm not wearing a watch for that long. I really only want to wear a watch a day at a time, a few hours at a time. So even with the Garmin, I'm taking it off to set it down anyway. And I'm taking it off to set it down to turn off notifications so it doesn't sit there buzzing on my dresser or on my desk, distracting me. The Apple Watch knows when it's off my wrist and it simply won't buzz. And when I'm setting it down, it's so easy to just bump it on a charge that's getting charged anyway. See, I think the important thing to remember with all this is balance. Having a watch to wear it 24/7 isn't the purpose. It is in the case of Garmin if you're training and you want proper metrics and you want that measurement of your body at all times, but I don't. And I don't think most people need that. I think remembering to remove a device from off of your body is important. And so the way I've learned to see it is I can see it as a nuisance that this thing requires charging every 2 days, or I can see it as a reminder that, hey, this thing is going to remind me periodically enough to remove it and take rest and have rest. And I think that's more important than seeing how long it can go before I need to maintain it and charge it. As with anything, it's about balance. And that's the narrative I'm trying to push ultimately with this tech channel. We're not about chasing specs and what's better and biggest and best. It's about chasing what serves you best as a tool to be purposeful and intentional with the tech that we allow into our lives. So for this, I've chosen to see it not as a burden that it needs to be charged every 2 days, or that the Garmin is automatically superior because of its near infinite battery life. But this has built-in reminders for me to remove it so that when I need to shower, when I need to spend time with my kids, when I want to read a book to my kids, when I want to be present in the moment, that it's so much easier to just remove this, to take it off, to set it on a quick charge, to know that it's recharging while I'm recharging with time away from it. That, I think, is more important than having ultimate longevity and battery life, because I think scientifically, wisdom tells us it's probably not good to be wearing something strapped to your wrist all the time, 24/7. You gotta let your body breathe, let your mind breathe, and let your body just be without a device attached to it all the time. And this affords me that freedom more so than a Garmin does. And talking specifically about general usage and general usefulness, it's going to depend on where you're using the device, right? I gotta be honest, something like this, I'm not really a huge fan of when I'm out in the woods. I just went camping for 4 days and I ditched it and I wore my Garmin the whole time because of that simplicity and that ruggedness, right? I'm not needing a smart device attached to my wrist all the time. I'm not needing to stay connected. I'm wanting to actually disconnect. Simply something that exists to tell me the time and be a flashlight on my wrist. That's what the Garmin does well. This was not exactly that for me in the woods. It became more of a nuisance, a distraction, especially when you're sitting around a campfire at night and your wrist lights up. I don't like that, not a fan. But on the flip side, here in this type of an environment, when I'm home, when I'm at the office, when I'm just going out and about, even if I just take a walk or two, this is actually great and it slots into that type of a lifestyle excellent and perfect. And I do really live in the mix of both worlds. I'll be days and weeks at a time at home, and I'll be days at a time out in the mountains wanting to enjoy time in the backcountry, just being. And that's what it's all about, is balance. Not one device serves all. I'm not arguing that you should buy both if you can, but what I'm arguing is that this is better at both than the Garmin is. And that's an interesting thought. So I've seen this question posed a lot. Is the Apple Watch a better fitness watch than the Garmin is a smartwatch? And the answer is yes. The reality is that Apple does everything. It may not do it all well, but it does everything. It does fitness, it does smarts, it does maps. You just need to have the apps or the subscription or all these other systems and resources plugged into it, right? The Garmin simply doesn't hold a candle in the smart features. And that's what this allows me to do that the Garmin simply doesn't, is to just be present, to set my phone down but still be connected. And it's something that, it's an anecdote that hit me years ago when I first got the Apple Watch, and I've forgotten all this time. And since wearing it the last few days in preparation for this video, I was reminded of that I actually can not have my phone in my pocket. I can just leave it behind and still remain connected to what's important most, to be able to take a phone call or a text message when I need it. And that's huge. So what's the point of this video? Is the Apple Watch as exciting and flashy and feature rich and packed full of stuff like the Garmin is? Well, no. And yes, it depends on what you value, and it depends on who you are. For me, for somebody that values connectedness, simplicity, and augmentation, I can truly download any app that I want to this watch to be able to create an experience that I would like, that I would need. I like that. And it morphs into what I need when I need it. Unlike the Garmin, which is more of a one-trick pony in the world of fitness and simplistic time telling, the Apple Watch is more of a transformer of devices of sorts. And I've learned to fall in love with it all over again. So for these reasons, maybe you'd learn to love it too.